Good morning. How are you doing this morning? I have a message this morning for you young people and also for Caesar and Nora. And I want to talk to you young people first. And you're very concerned, everybody's concerned, very concerned about their appearance these days. Whether they measure up to the people they see on television and on Facebook and all the social media you see, and everybody's trying to look their best and so forth. Now I've talked about this before, but I think these things are good to talk about. If you are a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, a lot of times you see the prophets and apostles. They tell you the same stories over and over and over again. It's because you need to hear it. So I'm going to tell you this story over again. It makes sure that the people that you love, especially you young women, you're so concerned about what you look like, and I think you want to love and to be loved. Of course, who doesn't? It's why you're here on earth, and much of the good you can do. So to the people that you really love, know that you love them. That's the most important thing, and they can see that in your eyes and in your heart. They feel it in their heart, the things you say. And when you become old, this is something that happens to everybody, and a lot of us, we don't plan for it. We think, well, I'll get old. I don't care what happens to me when I get old, or I just won't think about it. Well, when you get old, like my mom, you'll be like her, and the people that are most important in your life will know that you love them, and will like looking at you, and will be happy when you take time to talk with them and stuff like that. So that's what's important. Now I wanted to talk a little bit to Nora and Caesar, and there's a lot of I thought I would talk about studying the gospel. And what I think has a lot to do with getting the spirit of prophecy. When I was new in the church, I wanted to know all these things. I had so many questions. And I thought, gee, I would really like to get to know my bishop better. And of course that's always a good thing, and always look out for opportunities to help your bishop. And if your bishop asks you to do anything, just do them immediately, and show willingness to do them and say, yeah, I will do that, sure. But I felt, well, he's a leader here, and I would really like to ask him some questions. Or, if I met somebody who was above him, like a stake president or a 70 or anybody, if I met a prophet or apostle, I would have all these questions. Well, it's all there, you can get it through prayer. You can get it through studying the scriptures. There's so many, and you can. Now, I guess I thought I would enumerate all the places I look for things. First, look in prayer. Second, look in your scriptures. Now, the Gospel Library app is like a really awesome place to start. And if you look under the scriptures itself and search the scriptures, and you can do a word search. And the other thing that's really important to do is keep a journal. As you learn things, keep a journal. I keep one on my computer. And what it is I can search it. If I write something down and I want to find it again, I can search it with a word search and so forth. Now the other thing you can do is you can search. Let's see. I try to do things in order. You can search the Gospel Library. Look under the scriptures. Now, if you look under the scriptures in the Gospel Library, there's a number of study helps. Go there first. Go there first and look in those study helps. Then I would go look in. What's been really great for me is there's an institute in seminary in the that the church has. It's for young people. And I think no one's ever actually come out and told me and said what the exact goal of this thing is. But I think what it is it's to inspire in our youth a love of the scriptures. And I think many of our young people, I think this is usually like when they're around 16 to 20, they're encouraged to get up early in the morning and go to seminary class. And a lot of times somebody in the church they'll meet at the church a lot of times or somewhere, and then they'll some person from the church will be called to teach them. and they really love their seminary teachers, because they teach them to love the scriptures. This is a really important thing. And if you want to, now if you think about it, if there was something really great that church leaders wanted to teach people, who would they teach it to? They would teach it to the young people, the people they love the most. So these are really good resources, and they're on the Gospel Library app. So they're a good place to look for things. That's a really good place to look for things, look for answers and things, and to search and stuff. I would say General Conference. The other thing is you can search the whole from the Gospel Library app or the church website. Those are both two good references. You can search the entire church website. You can search the entire Gospel Library app through the Gospel Library app. You can do limited searches too. You can do limited searches of the scriptures. So those are all good things. Now, as far as authority goes, you really want to listen to what the present day prophets have to say, and the present day apostles and prophets, because they're sort of especially like if you're being asked questions from people outside the church or wanting to know what to say to them, you're going to be the safest if you say if you repeat the words of the prophets and apostles. Now, you can go back in the past before what they've said, but that's not really official church doctrine. But the other thing is there may be questions you have. There may be questions you have that the modern day prophets and apostles can't answer for you. So you might go to other sources. And there are all kinds of books. You can go online. You can go to eBay. You can go to let's see, there's a place called Abe's Books that has a lot of old books. And what it is there's many people, and some of them are good authors and some of them are just terrible, that are members of the church. And what it is the way you can tell whether they're good or not is where they quote the prophets and the apostles. And they've done their research, and if you check their references. So and people are encouraged in the church to write about things, and there's really, really great books that have been written by people in the church. Now there's a thing you can join online called Gospel Link. It's one word, gospelink.com. And this has like really classic works of the church. It has works that have been written by prophets and apostles. Now, if you look, all the prophets and apostles, modern day and in the past, have written books. I mean, these guys, they're really, really smart. They speak different languages. They have written different books. It's a really good idea to read anything the prophet has written, the modern day prophet has written, just because it's something that he thinks important. If he's written a book, it's really important. And there's also on gospellink.com, see there's works of the previous prophets, and it's a searchable database. If you're really looking for a difficult question, sometimes you'll find an answer there. But the other thing is, it's not always something you can tell people outside of the church, because they might not understand it. But anyway, and people in the church too. You don't want it to. People in the church won't a lot of times won't want to hear what the previous prophets and stuff have said. So and you may not believe it either. So just be prayerful. And and the thing, when I was new in the church, I would always think, before I always wanted to talk to my bishop about things, or my home teacher. And usually before I would do that, I would think, well, wait a minute, have I done my homework? Did I search the scriptures? Did I pray about it? Did I go to all these other resources? And I really feel like I have been given a lot of knowledge, because I don't waste the time of my church leaders. I mean, I don't ask them difficult questions. And the other thing is, a lot of times your church leaders don't know the answers to these questions. They're very busy leading the church, and these questions may never have come up to them. And a lot of times, it's like it might cause them a lot of stress. Like if some question's causing you a lot of stress, your bishop cares about you, and he might be very concerned about you. And the other thing that was going on when I was really new in the church, I could tell my bishop was talking about things that he knew I was concerned about right from the pulpit, and getting other people to talk from the pulpit about the same things because he knew I was concerned about them. And your bishop will probably do things like that when you're new in the church. Anyway, that's 10 minutes of stuff for you. I wanted to talk, let's see, now, I thought I would talk about home teaching. Now, I talked a little bit about that the other day. You know how there are people that it's scary taking home teaching. Like if you're it might be scary. But the thing is, I really think you'll make better friends there. For instance, I was just watching this thing. There was some kind of contest about some young woman who was picked from among many of these home teaching students, and this young woman's doing things. She's raising money and trying to help women avoid getting abortions, and she mentioned how a lot of times what happens is when you're in public school, you're listening to what your teachers and everybody else are telling you what you should do, how you should act, and what you believe. And this young girl is doing what she thinks is right. She can think on her own. She can evaluate what's going on. And if you're this type of person, if you try to be this type of person in your life, you're not going to be so afraid. You're not going to be. You're going to know what to do in times of trouble. You're not going to be afraid to do what's right when everybody's doing what's wrong and running like lemmings off the cliff. You're not going to do that, and you're going to be able to help some people be wise enough not to be foolish like that. You're going to be leaders in your community. You're going to know what you're doing is right, and you're going to have an ease of conscience. And you're not going to be as afraid as everybody else. So there's a lot of blessings in that. God bless our youth. God bless you. We love you. We all love you so much, and we want what's best for you. Listen to your leaders and listen to your parents. And help them out. Let them know you love them, and Jesus loves you. Never give up a testimony. Never pass up an opportunity to testify of Jesus Christ when you can. He loves you. He loves me. He's why we're here. Every joy that we have because of Him. I love you. Jesus Christ loves you. And your parents love you, and you know that. I love you. Jesus Christ loves you. Amen.